Ciao, shemano, здравствуйте, hola, comrades and compañeros. Today, we got a long-anticipated showcase of my main PS Vita and everything that is installed on it. Be it official Vita games, PS1, PSP, Homebrew, sports, apps, emulators, plugins, absolutely everything. There is a lot to go through, so let's get cracking! Okay, let's start at the absolute beginning. This Vita is on 3.68 HN core and it has 256 gig micro SD card inside of it. There is also no rhyme or reason behind the bubbles, you know, there used to be, but it's long gone. So let's start with the first folder. As you can see, there are a bunch of ports: Dune Legacy, Galactic Missile Defense, Open Lara, port of Dink Smallwood, Sonic 1 SMS remakes, that's native games, Streets of Rage remake, this is a great beat 'em up, needs to be installed on every Vita, and Space Cadet Pinball, this is a really good old school Windows game, recommended. Second bubble, it's called Top 5 Underrated. I think I wanted to make a video out of it, but never happened. When Vikings Attack, Luftrauser, Lichtspeer, there's like indie games. Then we got Jet Set Radio. I never knew there is a native Jet Set Radio game on the Vita, but then I found out and I was blown away. One Piece Unlimited, Southern Sanctuary, Metal Max Xeno. Third bubble, Chip and Dale Remastered, Cuphead. This is a fun remake with bosses only, not the full game. Then we got here Super Console Wars. This is pretty cool homebrew game. Roguelite, Tone, Circuit Dude. This is also pretty solid of original homebrew game. And Super Mario Vita. This is like a Unity demo with Super Mario Odyssey graphics, but there is not much to do besides jumping around. Then we got here some emulators. ZAorszáZ X64, Desmume No DS. It's like a DS emulation. I was comparing them, but neither of them is really good or playable. Fake 08, that's Pico 8 emulator. Flycast, Dreamcast emulator. Yeah, there are some games playable, but most of them are not. Open Bore, Open Beats of Rage, that's pretty good. Then we got here Portable Final Burn Neo, Portable Genesis, and Portable NES and SNES. That's like standalone emulators. Then we got here some official Vita games. Army Corps of Hell, cool Minions game published by Square Enix. Then there is Dynasty Warriors Next, really good hack and slash. Dragon's Quest Builders, that's like Minecraft. Sly 1 and 2 and Ratchet Clank Trilogy. I'm sure you know these ones. They need to be installed on every Vita because they play great. Next, we got some ports. These are more like old school ports. Abby des Morts, Five Nights at Freddy's. I think this is like a Unity remake, yeah, not a direct port. Then there is the Commander Genius or Commander Keen, a really good platformer, old school. Then we got Open Fodder, Methane. This is I think also like a port of old DOS game, Super Methane Brothers. I think it's like a ripoff, Super Mario Brothers. Next, NX Engine Evo, that's a Cave Story and Another World. Then we got here more ports, Frambo Chapter 2, Minute, Vanilla Red Alert and Tiberian Dawn. Another bubble, another ports, Gem RB, I did a video about it. You can play plenty games in here like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Icewind Dale 1 and 2 and Planescape Torment. If you are a RPG fan, must install. Then we got here Vita X and 2, another must install, Redneck Rampage, Open Jazz aka Jazz Rabbit, Celeste Classic Vita, that's a native game, it's not running via emulator, same like Prince of Persia, the old school DOS game. Very enjoyable, recommended. I'm sure you didn't know that the topic for this video was chosen by the channel Patreons and members. Huge thanks to all of them, you can see all their names on the screen right now. I granted them this exclusive voting power because they deserve it. And they also know what's coming next. Looks like I've skipped this bubble. So here we got Alien vs Predator Gold, Free Heroes of Might and Magic 2, King of Machines, Hurricane and Quake 2. And here is the kitty cat that deserves attention, right? Then we moving on to next screen. As you can see, there is no theme on my Vita. I like it have all default, so it's all like it came straight out of the box, you know, it's like a default theme. So let's move on to another ports. Bad Piggies, Crashlands, Final Fantasy IV, that's native game, Android port, Brain Splitter, and OpenXCOM. Brain Splitter and Crashlands, they were part of the previous contest, QN, really good games. Also guys, if you are enjoying these videos, make sure to like and subscribe, it means a lot. Then we got Julius, that's a port of Caesar. Then there is Open Superplex, Postal, Almighty Postal, and Vita ZAorszáZ 3D, where you can play Half-Life and all its expansions, and also Counter-Strike 1.6. Next we got Gungots, JF Duke 3D, ZA曽Z, that's a port of Warcraft 1 and 2, Orcs and Humans, and Beyond the Dark Forth, really good. Then we got Shadow Warrior and Treasure Chasers. Then we got here some fighting games, as you can see, official fighting games. Malicious Rebirth, Freedom Wars, Muramasa Rebirth, Is Memories of Celceta, and Drive Girls. Moving on, another bubble, Final Fantasy V, native port, not a PSP game, Inc., Z Gloom Vita, this is also cool Doom style shooter, Gloom Deluxe, Gloom Free, and Gloom Zombie Revenge, or whatever that is. Frame rate is a bit slower but enjoyable. Next is Gnorabo, the X-Tech Vita, and Wizard. Here there are, as you can see, best open world games, Gravity Rush, Unit 13, Ratchet Clank, Full Frontal Assault, God of War Collection, very enjoyable, everyone needs to play God of War on the Vita, Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus, Arkham Origins Blackgate, Amazing Spider-Man, Earth Defense Force 2017 Portable, and last is Resident Evil Revelations 2. Also good game, it runs quite slow, but if you overclock it, it's playable. I think you already noticed there is not a lot of gameplay footage in this video, because it would take me ages. But there is a lot of bubbles. Then we got here some Doom ports, Chocolate Doom, Vita Doom, Doom Vita. This is made in the Unity with the Doom 2016 graphics, but there are like few arenas to shoot monsters, and that's it. And then there is P-Album Plus, Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. There is not much to do, just roam around and jump. And Kero Blaster, a really good platformer. Next, we are moving on to some indies, PlayStation Home Arcade, Unfinished Swan, Urban Trial Freestyle, Putty Squad, Retro City Rampage, Jetpack Joyride, Super Frog, Meadow Slug 3, Pump BMX, Midnight Deluxe. I've installed most of these games by recommendations from YouTube videos and things like that. Then we got here some more official racing games. Little Deviants, that's not really racing games, as I said, no rhyme or reason. Wipeout 2048, Asphalt Injection, Ridge Racer, Need for Speed Most Wanted, and Sonic Transformed. If you are a racing fan, I'm sure you have installed all of this. Next, top 10 old school ports. Here I've like made the bubbles based on the videos I've been making previously. Death Rally, Curse of Isios, a really good game made by Locomalito. I think recently he released some new game. I wish that can be ported too. Ikaruga D-Make, Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. Yeah, this is a fun game that needs to be ported to every single console out there. Prehistoric 2, platformer. Rise of Triad, first person shooter, old school. Scepter Core, JRPG. Chocolate, port of System Shock. Urkan Masters, this is port of Star Control 2, I believe. And then the last one is World of Goo, a really good puzzle platformer, I'm sure you know it. We are moving on to next screen, and 2D platformers and shmups, official games, these are all official games. Super Stardust Delta, Guacamelee, Limbo, Raise the Sun, Machinarium, Velocity 2X. All of them are fun platformers, I would say. The Swapper, Joe Danger, Futuridium EP Deluxe, Rizogun. Then we got here some launchers. Vita Launcher, Retroflow Launcher, Hexflow Custom Launcher, and Apple Save Tool. Then we got here more official Vita games: Flower, Minecraft Vita, Tearaway, Virtua Tennis 2, Dragon's Crown, Little Big Planet, Disney Epic Mickey 2, Flow, and Phineas and Ferb Days of Dorschmitz. Here we got Super Rayman 64, Super Mario 64 Minecraft, Super Luigi 64 HD Peach, Super Sonic 64, Super Mario 6, Super Wario 64. These are all mods of the native Super Mario 64 PC port. I wanted to make a video about it, but I never get to them. But it's all really cool games. Then there is also Reminiscence. This is a flashback, port of flashback. And there is also Unearthed Trail of Ibn Battuta. Very ambitious port. Then we got some more not really useful Vita apps, as well as here, photo, music, video. Next bubble, Andogain X, 11 music player. That's a cool music player. You can play music in the background even whilst playing a game. Hyper Princess Peach, Mario. It's a cross between Mario and Portal, but it's more like a not finished state, I would say. MV player, Omega Strike, Super Crate Box, and Mario Kart Vita. This is also like a fun remake in Unity. Then Case Animatronics, Unfinished, Gato Roboto, platformer, Going Nowhere, first-person parkour jumping game, Roly Poly, homebrew game, SDL to Sand, that's like a falling sand game, Super Mario 64 native PC port, and Spikes. I'm sure you already noticed, but I'm doing this video more like a freestyle, it is not scripted. So if you are interested in any of these games, make sure to Google it and it will show you more information about it. Next we got some apps, Vita Tester for testing inputs, Adreanaline Bubbles Manager for managing your bubbles from within the Adreanaline, so PSP games, TF Card plugin, that's not really useful, and Quick Launch Installer, that's for these shortcuts. Then we're moving on to where we finished, this we done, so we're moving on here. Abuse, port of Abuse, Exalt, and port of Crazy Taxi Classic, that's native game, not the PSP games. Then Better Homebrew Browser, that's your homebrew browser, really useful because you got two databases, VitaDB as well as CBPS. Then EasyVPK, that's also like for downloading VPKs. Then Adrenaline, which makes PSP out of your PS Vita, and you can play PSP and PS1 games. Vita Shell, that's Almighty Manager, File Manager. Then we got Vita Homebrew Browser. This one is, I think, no longer supported, so it's not really useful. And then we got here some Rockstar games: Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Max Payne, San Andreas, Chinatown Wars, Grand Theft Auto 3, Bully, and Battlefield Bad Company. All native games ported from Android. Then we got here Agent Core, that's like a hack. PKGJ, this is an online store for your games, DLCs and updates and whatnot. Settings, PlayStation Store, I'm sure you know what are these for. Then we got here, not sure what this one, Save Manager, Vita Album, Vita Homebrew Sorter, Media Center. Then we got here MGBA, Game Boy Advance Emulator, Yo-Yo Loader, this is also Game Boy Studio Games Emulator. Quite a few good games are playable. FBA Lite, Final Burn Neo, that's like a standalone core, but it's now incorporated in EMU for Vita Arch, we'll be looking at that too. And Scam VM, that's for your old school point and click adventure games. Then we got Gish, Nanosaur, that's like an old school Mac game where you play as a dinosaur with a rocket launcher. Death Road to Canada, Paco Forever, Baba Is You, good platformer. Devolution X, that is native port of Diablo, and RVGL Vita, this is native port of Revolt. Then we're moving on to Patnos folder, and his games ported from Android mostly, Unity games, Hellrider, Kindergarten, Chameleon Run, Bendy and the Ink Machine. This is not finished, I think that's just like a first level. Then there is also Alto's Adventure. Then we got here Pekakana, platformer, Partia the Granian Trilogy, Tomb Raider 1 and 2, and Bagdom. Then we got here Monument Valley and Pony Island. Monument Valley, really good puzzle game. some Halloween games, Never-Ending Nightmares back in 1995, Dead Nation, this is good game, and Trogdor Reburninated. This is a cool old school Java game. Then we got here This War of Mine, Mass Effect Infiltrator, Shadowgun, Sonic Mania, even with the DLC, and Quake Spasm Spiked, the latest edition of native Quake port, which is the most advanced, with the highest enjoyability. Then we got here VitaDB Downloader, another necessary apps for all your VPKs, plugins and whatnot. I would say you need to have this one as well as better Homebrew browser, because if you cannot find something on VitaDB, you can still find it on a better Homebrew browser. For example, something like Super Mario 64 native port. You want to take a break? Do it now, cause we're just about halfway through. Nope, you're taking it anyway, cause I want to show you this interesting product. It is made by this company, and it is a 8-in-1 Type-C desktop metal holder for tablet. So it's basically like a fancy dock. Here are some quick specifications for you. And here is quick unboxing. There is not much in the box. There is just a USB-C cable and the dock itself. It is made out of solid aluminum, so it's cold to the touch and it's quite heavy. We can find here 3.5mm audio, 2 full-size USBs, wired Ethernet, HDMI, USB-C for power delivery, USB-C to connect into the device, and SD card reader, micro SD and standard SD card. So you just put it down. There are these rubber legs so it doesn't slip, as well as in here so the device doesn't slip. It can spin 360 degrees. At first I thought this mechanism is broken, but it's not. It's just very sturdy, so you don't need to worry about it going down by the weight of the device. And this is how it looks. Here on the back there are these metal fins, as you can see, with the space in between them so the air can freely flow. And this is how it's meant to work, so you just put the tablet in there, or Steam Deck, or whatever, iPad, then plug in the USB-C, and plug in the USB-C into the dock itself. And that's basically it. And then you can output via HDMI or connect wired Ethernet, you know, the ports that are missing on the device itself. Like on this tablet there is no headphone jack, so now I can use it. So as you can see, it's quite good actually, I like it. But for regular people I'm not sure if you're gonna find use for it, because you can simply buy something like, you know, normal dock. This is like for the Steam Deck, or this is like the most basic one. There is nothing, just the cards and USB-C. This costs around 30, 25, 30. This costs around 50, and this costs 69.99. You can check it out in the description down below. Then we got here Isotope 244 strategy games, touch-based, Duke Nukem 2, old school 2D Duke Nukem action platformer, Zelda Link to the Past, that's a native port, Heroes of Might and Magic 3 HD, good game, Doom 64 EX, also must install, Hollow Knight. This is the old port where you cannot save, and Blood, obviously port of Blood, or another old school first-person shooter, must install. We're moving on to Anime Downloader, where you can download your anime stuff, psvita, where you can find out loads of different information about hardware and software, then Emu for Vita Arch. This is an emulator front-end alternative to RetroArch. As you can see, it's in English now, and you can find here a bunch of cores. Then on the next page we got port of Quake 3, Vita Voyager, Return to the Castle Wolfenstein, old school first-person shooter, Augustus, Aerofoil, port of Glider Pro, old school my game. Next page we got here some ports from Spring 2023, Beat Hazard, Galaxy on Fire 2, Conduit HD, port of the year in my opinion, Thimbleweed Park, point and click adventure game, SXYX, Shmup, Anomaly Warzone Earth, Friends of Ringo Ishikawa, Beat 'em Up, Anomaly Defenders, and Funky Smugglers. Netstream, here you can watch YouTube videos, Double Dragon 4, port of beat 'em up, Night in the Woods, Poppy Card Collection, Dance of Fire and Ice, Vita Media Player, and Portal. This is a Unity demo. It's definitely not as refined as Portal 64. I enjoyed that one much more. Then we are moving on. Sleepwalker's Journey, Kali's Cave 4, 7 Billion Humans, Another World, Open Titus, Kindergarten, Nazi Zombies Portable, Candy Crisis, Golfing Over It with Alva Mile, Drift R, Animancer, Spinstar, Long Spear, Awakened Evil. These are all Godot games, sports. Donut County, that one is unfinished. Prune, Absolute Drift, Card Rider Rush, and Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 Deluxe. This one is also not finished, there is no audio. Bubbles, 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 everywhere just bubbles. I think I should have bought Bubble Maker for a nice effect. Then we got Samurai 2 Vengeance, finally in English. Then I think I skipped this one. Backstab HD, Super Monkey Ball 2 Sakurai Edition, Prototype, Port of R-Type, Fallout 1 and 2, my favorites. Vita Hot, recreation of Super Hot, really good. Sonic 3 SMS Timelines, that's a fun remake. William Shatner's Tech War, this is not finished I think. SQRZ X3 and 4, that's like platformers, old school. Here are some abandoned ports by Patnos, Short Hike, Just Ships and Beats, and Untitled Goose Game. Hopefully some might be finished. Hollow Knight, this is the new port with save states implemented. Then we got here recent Soul Calibur, Solstice, Do Mexica Infinite, Z2, Random Game Vita. This is another launcher that can launch random games. Swordigo, Desert Golfing, that's like pretty recent. I'm gonna be looking at them in the upcoming video. Jet Car Stunts, and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Android remake, of course, another PS3 port. Now let's check my plugins. There is not many of them. I try to keep as few as I can, cause you know plugins cause a lot of issues. Osisco 6, that's for playing games on later firmware. So if you are on 3.65, you can play later games firmware. Then there is DS3 Vita, DS4 Touch, DS4 Vita, so we can control Vita with the DualShock 3 and 4. FDFix, Frame Counter, that's also old. I have a few of these plugins disabled in the config file, so even though they are here, they are not active. Henkaku, that's for a hack. QBridge FDFix, that's for your ports. No MPDRM, that's for PKGJ, so your games are working. Paste Unlock, that's a cool plugin. PSV Shell and PSV Shell Plus. Repatch, Shellbat, Storage Manager, UDCD UVC for streaming Vita to PC, Vita Recorder for recording games, and X1 Vita for controlling Vita with Xbox controller. As I said, few of these plugins are not active, even though I have them here in the config, they are disabled. Okay, now let's move into Adreanaline, where I will show you all the PSP and PS1 games that I have installed. So here we go. eFootball 2024, latest mod, Third Birthday, Oblivion, demo, Grand Theft Auto London, Grand Theft Auto's Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, GTA Original, Marathon 2, I think this is port or homebrew, but I think it crashes, CSPSP, top-down Counter-Strike game, Flashback, Corrupted Data, Counter-Strike, yeah, if you didn't know, there is also port of Counter-Strike. It's not really port, it's recreation in Kurog engine. Let's check it out. So now we are in game. It has the old school PSP control scheme. You look around with the joystick and strafe with these buttons, action buttons. I heard somebody was shooting after me, but this is my fellow companion. And we are trying to kill some terrorists. I can't see anybody. After Counter-Strike, we got some Atari Anniversary Collection. Because of these collections, I also didn't install many emulators, you know, because you got plenty games in this PSP collection games. Then we got here Rayman, Wipeout, Tomb Raider 3, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, Spyro the Dragon, Bomberman, Disney Lilo and Stitch, Mega Man X4, Mega Man Legends, Crash Bandicoot, Soul River Legacy of Kain, Crash Mind Over Mutant, Crash Team Racing, Gex 3D, Medieval, Gex, Deep Cover Gecko, Gex 1, Armored Core SL, Sega Genesis Collection, Great Collection, as well as Capcom Classics Collection Remixed, Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron, Power Stone Collection, native port of Dreamcast games, Vagrant Story, Silent Hill. Most of these games are really good, but I haven't played them in a while. Angry Birds, these are minigames, Near Orbit Vanguard Alliance, Enigma, Appalach Overkill, Snaps Up, these are all minis as you can see on the icons, WTF, WTF, Who's That Flying, Urban X, 20Q, 5-in-1 arcade hits, Jellycar 2, Sneezes, Robin Hood, Flying Hamster, Tehra Dark Warrior, Deflector, Dracula Under the Awakening, Red Bull Fighters, Yeti Sports, Field Runners, Hercules Chariot Racing, good racing game, recommended, Free Escape, Escape from Hell, and FP, not sure what's that, Retro City Rampage, Tax the Neo, Worms, Loco Roco, Riff Everyday Shooter, Pixel Junk Monsters, Killzone Liberation, Crush, Ape Escape, Critical Depth, Moto 2 Grand Prix 2, Jet Moto 2, Jet Moto, Tomba 2, Tomba 1, Colonoa, Door to Fantonil, Strider 2, Flow, Alone in the Dark, Castlevania Chronicles, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Castlevania The Dracula X Chronicles, Hammerin' Hero, Midnight Club LA Remix, Kenka Bancho, Badass Rumble, Astro Boy the video game, Iron Man 2, Dante's Inferno, this is Lord of the Rings, Aragorn's Quest, Ghostbuster video games, Half Minute Hero, Ace Combat, Joint Assault, I'm a big fan of Ace Combat, Ace Armstrong versus the Alien Scumbags. Don't underestimate these minis because many of them are really cool games. Same like a space shooter for $2, recommended by Metal Jesus, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, Split Second, Is 7, Tron Evolution, Lord of Arcana, Dynasty Warriors Strike Force, Star Wars Force Unleashed, Flat Out Head On, Crazy Taxi Fair Wars. This is PSP native game where is also Crazy Taxi 2 included, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Motocross Arctic Edge, one of best racing games on the PSP, and plus very good platformer, Kingdom Hearts, Undead Knights, Metal Slug, Red Star PS2 port, God of War Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta, Street Skater, Hercules PS1 game, Spyro 3, Years of Dragon, Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot 3 Warp. As you can see, I'm a big Spyro and Crash fan. I need to have all of them. And here we got some PSP homebrew games like Portal, Portal Recreation in Kurok Engine, GDP, Just Grab It, that's a native port, native PSP, but we can play it natively on the Vita, GTA 2, Driver 2, PS1 games. As you can see, when the icon looks like this, it's a PS1 game, and when the icon looks like this, it is a PSP game. So in case you're gonna be googling it, now you know what to Google for, but it doesn't really matter. Open Beats of Rage engine on the PSP, Cave Story on the PSP, PSP KVM, Java emulator as well, Kurok and Tyrion. As you can see, I got plenty PSP and PS1 games installed in here. I'm a huge fan of them, and I think this is a great way how to experience them. Plenty of games are playable with Gepatch plugin that will enable you to play them in native PS Vita resolution, but not all of them are supported, of course. Some of them have glitches. That's about it from the showcase of my main PS Vita, but I think I should have said that there is also my second main PS Vita, my Aqua Blue Slim with 128GB micro SD card. I won't be bothering you for too long because I know your time is precious and this video is already like half an hour long, so I'll be making it as brief as possible. So let's jump right into it. There are a few same games, but I'll be showing you just the ones that are not same. So very quickly to my second Vita. It's on 3.65 Henkaku Enzo. There are a bunch of built-in applications here. Everything same. Gun Commando, this is pretty good first-person shooter. Here there are a bunch of SNES emulators. I was trying to find out the best one, but it didn't work out. Chrome Rally, PSP Homebrew browser, custom themes manager for your themes. Lugaru, Adreanaline Fahrenheit, Street Fighter X Tekken. Here Sonic Mania Open Board, Sonic Time Twisted. Here bunch of same stuff, I think. Here MGBA, easy plugin, auto plugin. Yeah, make sure to not install too many plugins because that can cause issues. Heroes of Might and Magic, Hero Blaster, Vita DB, Crunchyroll, one menu for PS Vita. Here I got RetroArch, Flycast, Battery Fixer, Better Homebrew Browser, NetStream. Here is same stuff besides the Silent Age. Final Fantasy IV, the After Years, Android port, 11 player. Here, Age of War Vita, Noboru, Super Mario Pack. Then we got bunch of Fuhen stuff, latest contest. Eldritch, Free Space, MacPixel, This World Ends With You, Beat 2X, Sonic 3 Timelines, ZAဖိZ, Late Shift, Wipeout, that's the open source reimplementation. Here is bunch of Metal Gear Solid stuff, as you can see, Metal Gear Acid, Metal Gear Solid HD, Peace Walker, VR missions, Uncharted Golden Abyss. Here there is bunch of Agent Call, Squared, Quick Installer, Shockbreed, Vita Deploy, ITLSense, Vita Tester, Switch View, that make like a Switch interface, Vita Media Player, Hexflow Custom, and Repo Hub. This was meant to be a pretty cool app that can download also data files, not just VPKs, but it doesn't really work that way. Here we got some more Fuhen, Amaze Planet, Vita Trees, Dreampunk. Here we got Moonlight Streaming, Vita Graphics Configurator for upscaling, downscaling, and changing the frame rate of your games. Super Mario 64 native PC port. Doom 3 Unfinished, Pinstar, Revolt, Angry Nerd. Then Onslaught Area, Professor Layton, Vita Hot Pink Shake, Redriver 2, Star Catcher, Purified, 4 of Us Are Dying, Chimera SNES, Borderlands 2, Flare RPG, ZAဖိZ 3D FWGS, that's the new one. Counter-Strike is not supported in this one. Minecraft Enhanced, that's the latest mod for Minecraft. Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, good game. Then we got here some PSP horrors, Obscure Aftermath, Manhunt 2, Silent Hill Origins, Undead Nights, Silent Hill Shattered Memories, Dev Jr. 2, Resident Evil Revelations 2, Infected Wars, Dead Space, Age of Zombies, Night in the Woods, Legend of the Skyfish, this is the game needed for Fmod plugins, that's why it's here. Here is a bunch of more PSP games, as you can see, Beat the Raider, Gran Turismo, Justice League Ego, Fight Night Run 3, Mortal Kombat Shinobido, Sega Mega Drive Collection. I'm not sure which one is this one, but it's like a hack and slash. And then we got here Soul Calibur, Willy Willy, Honor Simpson Hit and Run, Anak, Daedalus, Hollow Knight, Hit and Balls, Gnomopolis, and the latest Geometry Dash. That's basically it. I got also RetroArch installed on this one. On the other Vita I don't have it. I was mostly playing just PSP and PS1 games, Homebrew, Sports, and official games. Here I was doing a little bit emulation, but not much. Some older games, older DOS games, and that's basically it. Here I can show you what's inside of my yo-yo loader. There is not much of it, just a few games, and I haven't been adding anything lately because there is so many of them, and not much are that good anyway. Then I want to quickly show you what's inside of my MGBA. And as you can see, there is not much of it. That's all that's inside my MGBA. All the games. And besides that, I've been playing few SNES games. That's about it from the showcase. I had many more games installed on my Vita, but due to lack of storage, I had to remove them. I removed either the ones that I already beaten or the ones that were too large. As I said, I'm planning to upgrade my storage to 0.5 TB micro SD and also downgrade to 365 Enzo. I got a video in mind. I'm just waiting for some more stuff because I want to do the ultimate Vita upgrade video. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thanks to members and Patreons for support. Peace out.